Bonjour, vous êtes bien sur la boîte vocale d'Annick Granger. An English message will follow. Vous écoutez le ruban de la cassette, un podcast où j'appuie sur record, j'écoute et je gratte sous la surface. This is a podcast called Le Ruban de la Cassette. That just means cassette tape in French. I press record, listen, and scratch beneath the surface till I find a song. This one starts in Pendant, Mitzmetalik, Nunavut. Episode 5, The Name. It's August 2017. I'm on a boat in the Arctic. Seems unbelievable, I know. I've been invited to join the Canada C3, an expedition to mark the country's 150th anniversary. There's a whole group of us on this beautiful old icebreaker sailing through the Northwest Passage. It's the trip of a lifetime. Artists, scientists, and random amazing people on a journey together to observe, discuss, and create. And somewhere in the overwhelming pile of information I was taking in, there's the Inuit word for thank you, Koyanamik. It got me thinking a lot about words. I mean, I always think a lot about words, but more importantly, names and the weight they carry.
So I have 6 names. My first name is Aviaq. Well, it's supposed to be pronounced Aviaq because it's a Greenlandic name that means same blood or runs in the family. And my middle name, Ginny, is I'm named after my grandmother, Virginia. My other middle name is Mary, and Mary was the elder in my mom's hometown, and a lot of her children call me Mom, and another kid my age was named after her husband, so I called him my husband and he called me his wife. So I have many children and grandchildren.
You look great for a grandma.
I know. My other name is Aviaq. I was named after my aunt, who was named after another aunt, and this name has been a part of my family for generations. But yeah, in our culture, when someone's named after the same person as you, so when you have the same namesake, we call each other Saunik, which is a way to say like we have the same name and we're the same person.
Saunik.
Yeah. My other name is Akumarik, which was, I thought it was a man's name, but it was actually a woman that my mom became friends with when they moved to Pendant. They had become very close very fast, and then she passed away. So my mom named me after her, which was, usually you don't name your children after someone who died relatively young, because that's a sign, like that's a bad omen. But my mom loved her so much that she just named me after her. And Berthy is my last middle name, and it's I'm named after my great grandfather, who was a trader from France, and his name was John Berthy, I think.
Okay, Berthier.
Yeah.
Tell me all the names in a row. What does it give?
Aviaq, Ginny, Mary, Aviaq, Akumarik, Berthy. And then Johnston. My last name, Johnston.
Aviaq's a writer, but she's not the only one who got me thinking about names. There was also Charlene Bearhead, an amazing woman, a mother, an educator from the South with a giant tattoo from the Tuho tribe on her arm. Co-chair of the Downie Wenjack Fund, Charlene was never afraid to tell it like it is. I felt a connection with her right away. Here's a story she told me one day on the boat.
So yeah, I kind of always say, maybe it's jokey, maybe not, I always say I think blood's highly overrated. To me, it's the spirit that's connected. I don't have a drop of blood in any of my 7 grandchildren. And in fact, one of my sons, Storm, my oldest son, I adopted him when he was 8 months old. Storm, now my 3 little granddaughters that I adore. Willow is 4. Rain just turned 2, and River just turned 2, and Rain just turned 1. But we got Willow and River with Leanne, Storm's partner, because she already had the 2 of them. River was 4 months old. And very soon after, Leanne was pregnant. He sent me a text. Just found out baby's not mine. And he was texting back and forth, and he was sad. I still remember the texts back and forth to him, because with Storm sometimes he gets a little intense, so it's best to just text sometime and then you just keep the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
I remember saying to him, well, you're in such an enviable position. You can't lose. If you feel like you can't, you're not up to be the father of 3 children at the age of 23, nobody's going to say you're an asshole, because you're not the father anyway. But do not stay if you can't love those children like your own. I said, because you, of anyone in this world, knows how important it is to be loved in your family, whether you got blood or not. I said, but if you know what, nobody's going to say anything about that. And I said, but just think, if you decide that you do want to stay and you can love them like your own, lucky you. You get to be the dad to 3 beautiful children. There is no lose in this situation. He went home. He had to process it. And about 2 hours later, he texted me and he said, I'm staying, Mom. I love her and I love the kids and I'm staying. He got a house. It was important for him to find a house because he always had a backyard to play in and the kids needed a backyard. And he wanted to have the house set before Leanne had the baby, and the baby was due at the end of July. And the dads of the other 2 aren't in the picture. My husband and I were on the way to a powwow and Carry the Kettle when Rain was born. And Storm all of a sudden texted me and he said, it's a girl. I'm like, whoa, what's her name? I'm all about names. I love names. I said, what's her name? And he goes, just relax, woman. We got this covered. He goes, just relax, woman. I'll let you know. We'll get... So I'm like, got a name yet? Got a name yet? Storm said, I want to call her Sky. And Leanne's like, I want to call her Haven. And Jessie goes, I kind of feel like her name should be Rain, because after the storm comes the rain. And Storm goes, yeah, I like that. Okay. So all of a sudden the next day I get this text that goes, Mom, her name's Rain Haven. And I loved it. And my daughter-in-law Leanne's last name is Cardinal, and Storm's last name is Crow, but that's because my last name was Crow.
Yeah.
When I adopted him. And I said, oh, Rain Haven Cardinal? And he goes, not Cardinal, Mom. And I had this little moment and I go, Rain Haven Crow? And then I was sitting beside my friend at the powwow watching my husband dance, and I saw this text and I just started to cry. Because Storm and Dakota's last name was Blue Cloud. They're born my kids, their biological father, who's passed away in a very tragic situation. Their last name was Blue Cloud. And I always said, my one regret, you learn things with age. When I adopted them, I was all about keeping them protected, and they were mine and they were safe. And I've come to learn that it doesn't matter what the paper says. It's so important for them to stay connected to where they come from. And I said I would have kept your name as Blue Cloud. So I read the text from Storm, and it said her name is Rain Haven Blue Cloud. And that's how they registered her. So she is registered that Storm is her father. And Leanne said, you know what? This is my first baby that the dad cared enough to fight with me about, in a loving way, argue with me about, no, I want this name. She said, if it's that important to him, what we name our baby, and it's not biologically his baby, yeah, he's the dad.
Reconciliation. It's a word that seems to mean different things to different people, and a theme we dove into headfirst on this trip. Through the talks, tears, sharing, and hearts opening, I realized that for me at that moment, Reconciliation meant listening, really listening. That's why when I started working on this song, I knew I couldn't do it alone. It didn't feel right for me to sing it alone. So I asked Jenna Merkasak for her help. She and I even performed an earlier draft of the tune in some of the communities we visited. But when I got back home to Montreal, the song kept evolving. I thought I should run it by Jenna again, and I just kind of missed her, so I gave her a call.
Okay, so where are you? Are you in Ottawa or?
I'm in Iqaluit.
How have you been since the trip? Was it?
I've been pretty good.
Jenna's studying nursing in Iqaluit. I love how open and willing she always is to discuss the issues surrounding her culture. She even tried to teach me some throat singing, which was truly an honor.
Do you think I have potential as a throat singer?
Yeah, for sure. It's in our language. If I were to say someone who doesn't pronounce things very well in an Inuit or kind of baby talk, they're called kutak. In your throat singing, you were not kutak.
No? I thought you were going to say I was
no.
Do you remember what was your initial reaction when I played you the song on the boat?
When you started with, I don't know the name, and for me, who is from the north, and you as a visitor, I wanted to welcome you, and if you wanted the name, I'll give you the name. That's what I thought of, and that's when I was like, you know what, we could do a duet in this song. I could incorporate my point of view and my history to the song. I thought it would be so much fun. Yeah. I definitely felt compelled right away, to add something and to be part of that song and to sing with you.
It was like the theme of the boat for me was naming things. I was trying to learn Inuit words, and there was a lot of talk about names, and that's why the song came up. And when Charlene told me that story, I thought I'm going to try and make it.
I did see the changes. I saw, the original one said the sin, the prayer, and so on. But the new one had storm and rain. I thought, I wanted to, I couldn't wait to hear why you decided to change that. So was it inspired by Charlene's story?
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, and there was the symbolism too between the storm was the name of her son, but also all the emotion is the storm inside that, everyone's trying to contain and hold in. But the rain is also, it feels like the release. The rain feels like talking about it, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's good because we do get storms, and it's definitely symbolic too. For individuals, when we're growing pains and when we're learning about history and the society, how it creates a storm inside of us.
I was after leaving the boat, I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to sing this song without Jenna? You added phrases to the song when we were singing them together, but I feel like when I sing it now, I can't sing those phrases. It just, they're yours, and they don't make sense coming out of my mouth. My goal of the song was to just sort of admit my ignorance and my willingness to learn and connect. Then when you joined in, it just made it doubly special. But I can't bring you on tour.
Yeah.
The name of a song that we sing together.
If we ever meet together, we could make a remake of it.
For sure.
Record it. But for now, I don't mind it. It's your song, you created it, and you want to share it, and it's beautiful.
I was glad to have Jenna's blessing to take the song elsewhere. We kept chatting about our lives, about our experiences on the boat, and eventually came back to Charlene.
It's good. I like how she tells her stories. They're very personal, and behind all the media and behind all the stuff, I liked how we'd have our little conversation about the truth and what we think about it. like the realities of it rather than sugarcoating the situation.
I don't know the name of the bone, of the fur, of the leather, but I'll be the name of the song that we'll sing together. The name of the sin and the name of the prayer, the name of the call, the name of the answer. The name of the ocean of promises broken, the name of a pain that has never been spoken. I don't know the name. The name of the rock, of the bird, of the feather, but I'll be the name of the song that we'll sing together. The name of the river that carries your hope. Make me a rope, make me an anchor. The name of the storm that a man can sustain. The name of a daughter, the name of the rain. I don't know the name. The name of the bone, of the fur, of the leather, but I'll be the name of the song that we sing together.
Jenna, Charlene, Aviaq, and to all the other extraordinary people who shared the C3 expedition with me, Koyanamik, merci.